Hi guys. Hi Rahul. There was some glitch on YouTube. Hi Pranjali.
Hi Dee.
Okay, so there was some glitch on YouTube. We were trying to do live on YouTube from like was 10-15 minutes se, but it was not happening. So we shifted rather to Instagram. So this is presenting you Dr. Pranjali Singh. This is your host Dr. Smita Singh. Today we are going to be talking about the exam strategy she followed to clear her FMGE exam in first attempt. Pranjali, which batch you are?
Hello everyone, I'm Pranjali Singh and I'm from 2017 batch. And first of all, thank you so much for having me here. And I did my MBBS from CTGU, China, and I was from 2017 batch. So that's it. I just appeared first time for FMG in January 2023, and fortunately, I cleared it in my first attempt.
So basically, Pranjali is like my younger sister. We were in the same college. We used to cook together and do those things before COVID messed things up, and we didn't see each other for like what 3 years almost.
Yeah, and we met just few months back, and we didn't feel like that.
Yeah, and we didn't feel like we didn't meet for 3 years. So that is the thing. That's why I'm calling you my younger sister. Okay, so let's dive into the questions. If anyone has a question in live also, they can ask and we can reply to them as well. But before that, we will just go for the basic questions. What was your exam strategy for last 6 months? Like, what was it for last 6 months?
Okay, for last 6 months, basically, like my whole journey. So for the last 6 months, I was focused more on the content that was important because, as you know, I started doing it like when I started preparing for FMG. First of all, I started doing everything related to it. Like I was preparing from Marrow. So initially when I started, I used to watch every video. I watched almost 700, more than even 700, 800, 900 videos. And almost 8 1.5 साल बाद it felt like कि हाँ maybe now I should start focusing on the important things. Like, क्योंकि every exam has a specific syllabus and specific important topics that should be mastered first. So that thing was missing.
Yeah.
क्योंकि मैं 1 1.5 साल से I was preparing, so I was like reading everything, studying everything, watching videos, making notes, and solving questions. Then as the time passed, 6 महीने पहले तो I started कि ना I have to start focusing on the important topics first, important subjects first, and it was more like I became more strategy oriented then knowledge oriented. So that was the thing that I did. I started solving questions and giving tests. Although 6 महीने पहले तो I was not that consistent in giving GTs, but as the time passed by, that thing became more frequent.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that is like more important, being strategy focused rather than knowledge
Exactly.
focused, because strategy is what is giving you an edge over knowledge. Like knowledge is obviously important, but without strategy, your knowledge will be here and there, scattered all over the place, and you won't be able to crack the exam. So good one. Your primary source was Marrow. You didn't do any online, offline coaching. No Gautam Nagar. No.
No. I was preparing. I was preparing at my home only. Actually, when I came back to India in 2020 itself, I stayed back in my village only, and I have prepared everything from Marrow, staying back at my home. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, so what was the last 1 month plan? Like, I would ask you, what did you do in last 1 month? What is like the zest of it? What is the zest of last 1 month? What you did in, if I would ask, like, give me 5 points, 5 things you did in last 1 month, 3 or 4 points.
If I have to mention only 5 things that actually helped me to clear it in the first attempt, the most important will be frequent revisions. I started doing more and more revisions. At least I tried to. It was my goal that at least I will do 5 6 revisions before my exam. So I started doing more frequent revisions and more rapid revisions. Means I was not giving too much time to every subject. It was very quick. I was just going through everything. I just wanted to have the important things on my tips. that was the strategy. And I started solving more questions. And the thing that has helped me a lot is concising the things.
Hmm.
As I told you, ki initially it was like I was studying everything. So uske baad, when I felt like now it's time to focus on the important things, so
Hmm.
I just concised few
Right.
subjects, and that actually helped me a lot. Just
Hmm.
pathology, if I remember, I concised almost 200 pages of pathology in almost 30-40 pages. And when I started revising pathology, it became very, very easier for me.
Okay.
So these are the three things, and obviously I was trying to revise everything as frequent as possible,
How about
and
GTs? How
test and
often were you
analyze
giving
everything.
mock?
Yeah, yeah. I gave mocks, not too many, but I think I have given almost 5-6 mocks, like in the last 2 months. I'm
Hmm.
talking about
Hmm.
that time. So at that time, I gave almost 5-6 mocks, and I focused more on analyzing it. And one thing also I kept in mind while analyzing the mocks and the PYQs, I used to write down the previous year topics also,
Hmm.
like all those topics which were repeated
Right.
so many times in PYQs and GTs. I used to write it down. That helped me a lot, because at the last what happens, there is too much and we
Hmm.
have to revise it, we have to concise it. So these things, these very small things helps a lot.
I
We
think my
have
first
the list of the
video
important things.
I think my first video on YouTube ever was like 300 topics. The exam is about 300 topics and not like 19 subjects. So we have many people posting those 300 topics. The first I started like 2 years ago when I passed my FMG, 300 topics. And I think a lot of people have posted it, and you can make your own list of topics by doing your mocks and giving
Exactly.
your exams and solving questions again and
That
again and
helps
again.
a
So you get
lot.
right.
That
Yeah,
helps a
that
lot.
is the thing we usually do. A lot of us we
And that
usually
list
do.
has also helped me as well.
Okay.
Although you became my personal like go-to person whenever I needed any help. So I've called you multiple times whenever I needed any help. So
No,
I
I was
had that
always glad
privilege
to help you.
of
I
reaching
was
out to
helping a
you
lot
with
of
the
people. I was helping a lot of people. I didn't even know if I wouldn't be helping you. That would be a shame, I think, because you're like the closest person to
exactly.
me in the college. And if I could not help you clear the exam, then it's no point making a page and helping people on YouTube. It was no point. But thankfully, it helped, and you cleared your exam in first go. What I would want to ask you is, what is the one thing you regret that this I should have done better? This is the thing I didn't do or did which I shouldn't have done. Like, what is the one thing you would want to change if you want to change in last your preparation?
The most important thing that I think I could have started earlier
Hmm.
is concising my notes.
Okay.
क्योंकि it was not possible for me to concise every subject. Although
Hmm.
I tried my best, and almost I think I was able to concise 3, 4, 5 subjects, the average subjects, average ones. The major subjects I couldn't concise, like
Okay.
in my handwritten notes and having
Hmm.
all those flow charts and tables at one place. I couldn't
Hmm.
do it.
Hmm.
I have just highlighted the important things in my notes, but
Hmm.
that is another thing. So the one thing that I regret not doing earlier is concising my notes and
Hmm.
not focusing on the important stuff. Because usually we have this mindset while
Hmm.
we start studying for this exam. We start by thinking like, okay, I have to score more than 200. Huh? It is
Hmm.
our mindset. मेरा भी यही था
Hmm.
कि whatever we read, we think कि अभी we have to score 200 plus. So when we have this mindset ना, तो whatever we are reading, it becomes important. क्योंकि we
Right.
think कि अच्छा कहीं ये miss out नहीं हो जाए, कहीं ये
Hmm.
miss out
Right.
नहीं हो जाए,
Right.
कहीं ये ना आ जाए. So
Like the
because of this thing,
perfectionist,
ना,
the
exactly.
perfectionist, we become the perfectionist.
Exactly. So जैसे बोलते हैं ना कि it's important to read one thing multiple times than
Hmm.
reading multiple things single time.
One time.
तो
Yeah.
वही चीज होती है कि starting में I also thought कि I have to score 200 plus. So I was just
Hmm.
focused on that, and I used to pay attention to every line, every detail. But later I realized कि all those things are not actually important, because we forget the main qualifying criteria for this examination,
Hmm.
that is 50%.
Right.
Okay, so if we are very sure, when we are very sure कि हाँ, now in whatever GTs we are giving, whatever test series we have joined, we are scoring 170, 180 marks. So when we are sure about it, then obviously we can read other things, we can
Hmm.
focus on those things. But शुरुआत में it should be the focus कि हाँ we have to get 150 marks and we have to be very very confident about all those topics which are required
Okay,
for
I
clearing
think
the examination.
someone is asking a question. I guess Annie is asking, arise or missed for December 2023. I think we are not the best people to answer the question.
Actually, I have done it from Marrow, and I think you have also
Yeah,
you
I did
also
from Marrow as well,
Marrow.
from sitting at home and doing it,
So I
like doing it in my
don't have
comfort
any
zone.
idea about Arise or Mist.
We,
I have heard
we are
about
not Gautam Nagar wala bachchas, so we don't know anything about arise and miss.
we are online वाला बच्चा घर पे बैठ के पढ़ने वाला
घर बैठ के सोया खाया पढ़ा.
सही है.
Okay. Okay, so I think the last question I would want to ask you, after that we'll take some questions if someone has a query, but last thing I would want to ask you, how did you manage your stress? Because first time giving FMG is very stressful, especially whoever is sitting at home and doing it. I think whoever is doing it in a coaching, they get an environment, they are less stressed because of a lot of friends and shared peer uh, group, but
That
whoever is
helps
staying alone, is it's hard for them.
to
Yeah.
keep us on track.
Yeah. So how
See,
did you go through that phase? Like, how was your experience going through that phase?
see, studying at home actually it became very difficult at times, but at the same time it has its own benefits as well.
Right.
So I felt sometimes I felt like I'm isolated from everybody because I was actually isolated. I did not talk to my classmates. As you know, you were the only person whom I used to call whenever I had any problem. And I शायद मुश्किल से एक दो और हैं मेरे batchmates जिनसे I used to be in touch, वो भी बहुत बहुत कम. So that was my scenario. तो मेरे लिए it became difficult because I was feeling कि maybe I'm missing out on some things. Like maybe because most of my friends were studying in Delhi and doing the offline coachings. तो उन चीजों में I used to think, but बहुत सारे फायदे भी थे.
I think I remember you asking me a few times in between कि दीदी मैं भी चली जाऊँ क्या दिल्ली?
हाँ, actually a lot of times because I always had this thought बीच में I had that doubt कि maybe is it a mistake that I'm doing? I'm not going to Delhi because most of the students are already there. They have a particular routine, 10 hours of classes and everything. But as you were asking na कि how did it help me to manage my stress? Because I think staying back at home helped me in this because whenever I was anxious about something or I was worried, I used to talk to my parents because as I told you, I was at my home only. I used to talk to you. So those things help. क्योंकि जब बाहर होते हो, sometimes it adds a lot of stress also. क्योंकि you don't compete with yourself then. You have a lot of people around to compete with, na? So that adds a lot of extra stress, I believe. But when I was at home, I used to chill out. I used to talk to my parents. I used to talk to you whenever I felt low. क्योंकि बहुत सारा time आता है when ऐसा लगता है कि नहीं अभी हो रहा है. एक हफ्ते पहले का तो you know what was my condition. I called you and I said नहीं दीदी अब आई नहीं होगा.
The only thing I heard in last 3-4 days is कि दीदी इस बार तो नहीं होगा, अगली बार का देखती हूँ. अभी तो एग्जाम भी नहीं हुआ है. इस बार तो
Actually, I was very prepared for the exam, but as the time comes closer ना कि अभी एग्जाम आने वाला है, मुझे लग रहा था कि अभी भाई सब भूल गए हैं, वैसा सिचुएशन था. So I called you. So, but हाँ, that time talking to you was actually helpful for me. क्योंकि I think everybody should have that person to whom they could go whenever they are feeling low. That's extremely important whether we are preparing for FMG or any exam in this world. Because जो last का time होता है, at that time we have to remain mentally calm, stress free as much as we can. So उन चीजों में ना, it's very important to have somebody to whom you could call and talk to them. It's extremely important. So I would always suggest to whosoever is listening to me कि भाई always stay in touch with such people because that helps a lot.
And I think staying in touch with that people, I think the batchmates, like the seniors, work better than the batchmates. Like batchmates are themselves confused, and if some senior who has gone through it,
same boat at that time, we are in the same boat. So itna couldn't guide somebody else.
It's always good to have a senior who can guide you.
Exactly.
Like even whoever is in college right now, please be good to your seniors and have that bond. If someone is good enough, if you think you can look up to them, go to them and like just ask for their help. I think most of the seniors feel very good helping their juniors whenever someone comes and someone is very genuine and they are very, very like decent people, genuine people. Juniors are like quite nice to help out.
Exactly. And last 1 week, it's like we have already read everything. Whatever preparation we had to do, we are already prepared with everything. But वो anxiety वाला factor इतना ज़्यादा dominate करने लगता है कि we start to feel कि okay, अभी मैं सब भूल गई. This thing comes into play. So to deal with it, the best thing is to talk to somebody who is there for you, who is going to motivate you, and you know it. So that helps a lot. It has helped me a lot in my case.
Yeah, I'm so glad. I'm so glad
And
you
I'm
cleared.
very thankful.
I think I was
I'm
very nice. If like I said, if I couldn't help you, then it's all pointless. I was always thinking कि नहीं अभी छुटकी की बारी आएगी. We have to help छुटकी first. If I can't help you, then it was not worth it then. So it's so good to see you passing your first attempt. I was so nervous myself, but I had the confidence in my heart that she has studied a lot. I've seen you study. You have been always a hardworking person. There have been ups and downs. Everyone goes through ups and downs, mood swings, and sometimes you don't really want to study. That happens to everyone. So whoever is thinking that we both have been very consistently studying, please come out of the bubble. We haven't studied very consistently. We have had our own days of not going and studying, just roaming around or just laying back. So, but most days you study and then you clear the exam. You just have to have the confidence and just have to have the background, like the basics should be good enough.
Exactly.
So,
basics are extremely important. If our
yeah.
basics are clear, then it becomes very easy for us or for anybody to clear this exam. And I think it's sufficient if a person gets serious in third year or fourth year itself to clear FMGE. Because it's very important to get serious at time. When the time, we should not always keep on delaying things कि नहीं अभी third year हो गया अभी fourth year हो fifth year में करेंगे.
Fifth year में पढ़ूंगा. Internship year में एक साल बैठ के पढ़ लूंगा.
We should never, every FMG, I would just say to every FMG, ki always have this thought in the back of your mind, ki I have to clear it in the first attempt. Always, like think this way only, ki I have to clear it in the first attempt. Does not matter whether you have studied in your second year, third, fourth. It does not matter. Whenever you think, whenever you are ready, whenever you are sincere enough to prepare for it, to be serious about this exam, just start preparing it. Whatever you could do, it will help. At the end, it will help. So that's extremely important.
Okay. I think this was quite informative. I think people should have gotten something out of it. Yeah. So let's keep. Also, Pranjali has a page where she has started making reels and informative stuff. You also have your own YouTube. I would share the link with people on my story. Yeah. And please go out and check out our winsome doctor, who is very smart, very cute, and very young in this field. Has to do internship. I'm waiting for your internship time, and I'll call you and hear your story. So, okay. So let's end this here. I think people have gotten all their answers. These are the basic questions.
Exactly. And we are here if anybody wants any kind of help. We are here to help.
I also do the same whenever I get time. So you can reach out to us in case you have any doubts or any questions. Thank you so much for watching, Pranjali. Let's meet at my show.
Thank you so much for having me here. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.